College campuses around the country are staying connected to the George Zimmerman trial. Social media is changing the dynamics of how students monitor the case.
Justice for Trayvon Martin is a student movement.
20-year-old Jason Douglas is the president of the Student Government Association at Bethune-Cookman University in Daytona Beach, Florida. He says social media sites like Facebook and Twitter allow students to be a voice for Trayvon Martin.
Student leaders and students from all different campuses within the local area were able to communicate via Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and then that's when the new information is released and we get on and we chat with one another and see what ideas we can collaborate on, such as the march.
Douglas, a political science major, tells Soul of the South he organized a march to Sanford last year with students from 3 Florida universities. The protest called for the arrest of George Zimmerman. The college junior who wants to be a Florida state senator someday takes Soul of the South into the university's Twitter world.
Here are the Twitter feeds from the Trayvon Martin trial. Or the George Zimmerman trial, and some of the things that Bethune-Cookman has engaged in. You're able to tweet the different, follow the hashtag, what's going on, pound Trayvon Martin, or hashtag Trayvon Martin, hashtag Justice for Trayvon Martin, so you're able to follow the hashtag and find out immediately what's going on.
And as several students we talk with say the very first time they heard about the shooting death of Trayvon Martin wasn't through television news or newspapers, but rather the social media sites like Facebook and Twitter.
First time I heard about the shooting was via Facebook. It was a lot of postings about a young boy who had just died, so I just went and researched it to look it up and see what happened.
Dr. Winifred Johnson has been a history professor at Bethune-Cookman since 1989 and says one moment she will not forget is the first time she heard the name Trayvon Martin.
The initial reaction to the shooting of Trayvon Martin was instantly from social media. I was in a classroom with my African American history class. One of my students looked up and said, "Oh, Dr. Johnson, have you heard about the shooting of Trayvon Martin?"
She says students are getting their information instantly from their cell phones, tablets, and electronic gadgets, even in the classroom.
Social media really amped up the chatter and the responses and the outrage.
And Bethune-Cookman senior Ashante Williamson talks about how the news of Trayvon Martin's death changed how she uses Twitter and Facebook.
We're upset, and we kind of feel like what, Dr. Bethune, the things that Dr. Bethune has done, the things that Martin Luther King has done to get us to where we are now has fallen short.
She says teens and young adults are reading newspapers and watching newscasts less, but their voices are being heard more.
Society wasn't really paying attention to the our generation, because they felt like we were too young and we don't know what we're talking about, and all that good stuff. So I think that now, since we have that, people are paying attention to us.
And students are paying close attention to the Zimmerman trial just miles away from their campus with a keen eye on the outcome.
Either way, our work is not done. Just like the shoulders of the leaders that we stand on, for instance, Dr. Bethune and Martin Luther King, their work was never done. And it's still not done, and they left it for us to continue and finish on.
Jennifer Bisram, Soul of the South News.